Have you ever wondered why some people eventually reach their dreams, while others, just as talented, slowly fall behind? Have you ever felt the quiet frustration of working hard, yet seeing little progress? And have you ever paused to ask yourself whether success is really about talent at all, or something far more patient and unseen? In a small American town, bordered by a slow, winding river and rows of old maple trees, there once lived a man many people simply called Mr. Alden. No one knew exactly how old he was. His hair was silver, his posture was calm, and every single morning, without fail, he would sit on the same wooden bench by the river. People passed him every day, workers rushing to their jobs, students hurrying to school, joggers with headphones in their ears. Most of them never paid him much attention, because Mr. Alden rarely said much, but when he did speak, he always repeated the same quiet sentence: "You will receive what you are patient enough to build." At first, people thought he was just another old man talking to the wind. Some smiled politely, some ignored him completely, a few even chuckled as they walked by. But Mr. Alden never reacted. He simply sat there, peaceful, watching the river move slowly past the town. One cool autumn morning, as golden leaves drifted gently onto the sidewalk, a young man named Ethan Carter happened to walk down that path. Ethan was in his early 20s, smart, ambitious, restless. For months, he had been chasing one opportunity after another: quick investments, fast business ideas, anything that promised rapid success, but nothing had worked. Each attempt ended the same way, with disappointment quietly settling in his chest. That morning, his steps were heavier than usual, and just as he passed the old bench, he heard the familiar voice: "You will receive what you are patient enough to build." Ethan slowed. Something about the calm certainty in the old man's tone made him stop. He turned and looked at Mr. Alden carefully. "Sir," Ethan said, stepping closer, "do you really believe that?" Mr. Alden lifted his eyes and smiled gently. "I don't just believe it," he said softly. "I have watched it happen, again and again." Ethan hesitated, then sat down at the far end of the bench. "To be honest," he admitted, "I've been working hard for a long time, but nothing seems to move forward. It feels like I'm always one step behind." The old man nodded slowly, as if he had heard this many times before. "Tell me," Mr. Alden asked, "what is it that you truly want?" Ethan didn't hesitate. "I want to be financially successful," he said. "I want to build something big, something that matters." Mr. Alden's smile deepened slightly. "That is a worthy goal," he said. "But most people who want success are missing two quiet powers." Ethan leaned forward. "What powers?" For a moment, Mr. Alden said nothing. Instead, he reached into the worn leather bag resting beside him and carefully placed something into Ethan's open palm. Ethan looked down. There was nothing there. He frowned slightly. "Sir, I don't see anything." Mr. Alden's eyes twinkled. "That," he said gently, "is the first power." Ethan blinked in confusion. "The first power," Mr. Alden continued, "is time." Ethan's expression shifted. The old man went on. "Time is the most valuable asset any person will ever receive, but because it is given quietly and disappears slowly, most people treat it carelessly." The river flowed softly beside them. "Every great skill," Mr. Alden said, "every strong business, every meaningful life is built one small, consistent moment at a time." Ethan listened more carefully now. "But here is the problem," the old man continued. "Most people don't lose because they lack talent. They lose because they keep trading long-term growth for short-term comfort." Those words landed heavily. because deep down, Ethan knew they were true. Mr. Alden then gently took Ethan's other hand and placed it open beside the first. "And this," he said quietly, "is the second power." Again, Ethan saw nothing. "The second power," Mr. Alden said, "is patience." Ethan let out a slow breath. Mr. Alden continued in the same calm voice. "Time gives you the opportunity to build. Patience gives you the strength to continue when results are slow." He paused, allowing the words to settle. "Without patience," he added softly, "most people abandon their path just moments before progress begins to appear." Ethan stared at his empty palms. For the first time, the message felt personal. "So, what should I do?" he asked quietly. Mr. Alden turned slightly toward the river. "Start small," he said, "but start consistently." That afternoon, Ethan went home with something he had not felt in months: clarity. Instead of chasing another quick win, he chose one skill related to the business world he wanted to enter, financial analysis, and committed to studying it every day, not for hours, not with bursts of frantic energy, but for one focused, uninterrupted hour each morning. The first week felt slow, almost painfully slow. Progress was barely visible. Several times, Ethan felt the familiar urge to quit and jump towards something faster. But each time he remembered the quiet bench by the river. Time, patience. So he continued, week after week, month after month. Something subtle began to change. Concepts that once felt confusing started to make sense. His focus improved. His confidence grew, not loudly but steadily. After 6 months, Ethan applied for an entry-level position at a small investment firm in town. This time, during the interview, something was different. He spoke with calm clarity, not because he was suddenly brilliant, but because he had built quiet understanding. One day at a time, he got the job. The work was not glamorous. Long hours, detailed reports, slow progress. But Ethan stayed consistent. While others around him jumped from opportunity to opportunity, chasing faster promotions, Ethan focused on learning deeply. Time passed. 1 year, then 2. His supervisors began to notice something rare. Ethan did not panic under pressure. He did not rush important decisions. He worked steadily, patiently, carefully. And slowly opportunities began to find him. A promotion came, then a larger project, then leadership responsibility. Nearly 8 years after that quiet morning by the river, Ethan Carter stood in the glass-walled office of the firm he now helped manage. The city skyline stretched wide beyond the window, but his mind drifted somewhere else, back to the wooden bench, back to the slow-moving river, back to the old man with the calm voice. Later that week, Ethan returned to the same riverside path. The maple trees were taller now. The paint on the old bench had faded, but Mr. Alden was still there, sitting peacefully just as before. Ethan approached with a quiet smile. "You were right," he said softly. Mr. Alden looked up, eyes warm. "Tell me," he replied gently, "what did you discover?" Ethan took a slow breath. "That success didn't come when I worked the hardest," he said. "It came when I worked the most consistently." The old man nodded. "And patience?" he asked. Ethan smiled. "Patience," he said quietly, "was what kept me from quitting 5 minutes before things began to work." For a long moment, neither of them spoke. The river continued its slow, steady journey. Then Mr. Alden gave a small, knowing smile. "Most storms in life," he said softly, "are survived not by the fastest person, but by the calmest one." Ethan stood there in thoughtful silence, because now he understood. Success is rarely loud at the beginning. Growth is rarely dramatic. And the most powerful progress often happens quietly, in the moments when no one is watching. So if you are working towards something important right now, if progress feels slower than you hoped, if results seem just out of reach, remember this gentle truth. Protect your time, strengthen your patience, and keep moving forward, one steady step at a time. Because the life you are trying to build may already be quietly forming beneath the surface. If this story spoke to you, please take a moment to like and share it with someone who may need encouragement today. And don't forget to subscribe for more calm, meaningful stories that support your journey forward. Thank you for spending these peaceful moments here. Wishing you steady progress, quiet confidence, and lasting success in everything you are building.